What's up, everybody? Welcome to another video. So we're not doing a mirror board video. This is going to be super awesome. I'm going to actually use a whiteboard because I need something tangible. By the way, if this is out of focus, I can't really tell while I'm filming this. Just bear with me. I'm going to explain everything visually with words. And this is just going to help me organize my thoughts because this is a really valuable video. So I think right now, AI is the greatest opportunity that we've ever had in our lifetime. Now, I'm not saying this as someone that is like trying to sell you a $997 AI course or any of this nonsense. I don't really have a stake in this battle of convincing you this. I'm telling you this for the good of your own being. Okay. So in the past, if you don't know me, my name is Luke Alexander. I have trained like 5,000 sales reps, made close to $10 million personally online, done really, really well for myself. And now I'm building an AI startup, which is this and this, called Kendo AI. And it is extremely insane, technical, high-level, enterprise-grade, basically AI sales training, management, ramp up, things like that. Kind of like Gong, but AI. So in this process of the last 12 months, I burnt down my businesses. I stopped making money. I've literally made like no money this year at all on purpose to spend every waking hour learning about AI. And I want to impart that onto you guys. So if you want to make $1 million a year with AI, which is, I think, realistic. I'm going to be honest, not as a complete beginner, obviously, but if you've run a business before, or maybe you're a sales rep, or you just have a brain and you have some IQ, I think you can make $1 million this year. And I have multiple guys that I am currently helping do that. I have, I think, 5 people at $100,000 a month for my direct guidance and training in AI, which is $1 million a year. $83,000 a month is $1 million. So nonetheless, I'm going to show you the 4 steps that I would take to make $1 million a year with AI. Now, I am currently doing this. I'm doing it with software, which is option 2 here in this pyramid. Software is hard. It takes a lot of money. It's very complex, but it does have an advantage over doing things manually in the sense of it being a repeatable process. So if I didn't have a lot of capital and if I wasn't like technically sound and had a good team and all these things, I would do exactly what I'm going to be telling you guys. I just want to caveat that. I hate when people teach things they don't actually do. So I'm doing this. I'm just doing it with software when I advise you to do it with a service. So step 1 is you need to pick your battle. And I kind of want to explain the landscape of AI to you guys if you're a complete beginner. At the bottom of this landscape, we have LLMs, OpenAI, Gemini, Anthropic, Claude, DeepSeek. These are the large language models. Okay. You're not going to build an LLM. This costs hundreds of billions of dollars, and you're probably a decade late. So the next step of what people are doing, since we have this layer, think of this as the internet, okay? LLMs are the internet. And what was built upon the internet that people made money with? Well, it's software. Then off of software, which has its own negatives, like I said, complexity, technical challenges, cost, and it's just hard overall. It's difficult to get distribution. On top of that, we have the service layer. So in the same sense of the internet happening, which is so cool that we're living in this time period right now, the internet came out. Let's think back to like early internet marketing days. Okay? The internet came out. Then people figured out they could do emails. Then they figured out they could do funnels. Then they figured out they could do ads. They could run ads and send traffic to things. And those early guys made like insane money. Okay, your legends like your Ty Lopez, your Dan Kennedy, Russell Brunson, Hormozi just did a $100 million webinar like yesterday. So this has been proven, but now it changes with AI a little bit in your advantage if you're one of the people that can keep up and stay on top of that. So I recommend, we got to obviously pick our battle. I recommend you start a service-based business using AI to do the work. That's the business model. We call it AI Insiders is our sort of community. You can call it AI Operating. You can call it whatever you want. I don't really care. Number 2 is, what is the problem that we're going to solve? Everyone thinks backwards and they just say like, oh, in the traditional like agency days, oh, I'm going to start an agency for dentists. Okay, why? First off. Second off, what problem are you solving? Like, you're only selling things based on problems you solve. So as far as problems that I would recommend, if I were literally going to do exactly what I am explaining in this video, I want to keep it simple. Everybody is getting way too complicated. There's a few key things that businesses always need help with: sales, marketing, and then this is, we'll just call it automation. Now, automation, I don't mean in the sense of like, we're going to start an AI automation agency. I think that's retarded. I mean in the sense of just organizing processes, making processes better, systematizing things like workflows. Like, this is a real key business need, especially with AI. So now that we have picked our battle, obviously we're going to be building a service-based business. Because why? It doesn't take money to start, low complexity. You learn a lot of good skills doing it, and you can make $1 million a year. We want to fix a problem within sales, marketing, or automation. I would really keep these to the 3 main things. Next, we want to pick, who do we want to do this for? Well, in the current landscape of online business, you want to always go where the money is, okay? I think currently that the most money is flowing around in info products. I think info is reaching its kind of golden age. I really do. Like guys are literally just buying cars and posting them online and making $1 million and not being good at anything. Like that's crazy. Don't complain about it. Let's take advantage of that. You can still do this for local businesses. I would do this for like high income local businesses like roofing or HVAC or something like that. Right? But again, those people don't understand AI and you're going to be selling AI. You're not selling AI, but you're doing the work with AI. They don't really understand. So if I were you guys, I would be going after the info product space. Now, I know that very well. It's where I made a lot of my first initial money. Within info, sales, marketing, automation. Well, what problems do we have? So I'm gonna go ahead and just clear this out so we have some space. Okay, when we say sales in the sense of info, what problems do we have? Well, closers are a problem. As someone that's trained closers, it's hard to find good closers. It's hard to train good closers. It's hard to manage. Then we have, I'm just going to call this CRO for lack of a better word. This is sales process stuff. So optimizing show rates, optimizing close rates, optimizing pre-call, post-call stuff, optimizing the funnel. Really the journey from little Timmy here seeing an ad and getting to a purchase, okay? This is CRO in enterprise is what it's called. Basically just conversion rate optimization. In the sense of sales, very valuable problem to solve. I actually, for context, I don't know how much you guys know because I haven't posted the vlog. I did this last year for a very well-known person in the trading space. And I personally made, our team was paid $200,000 in a single week of work, okay? So we did $4.5 million collected by doing these two things for an info product company last year. And then I realized I fucking hate working with people, other clients, because they're retarded most of the time. I shut that down. But in 1 month of doing it, we pulled a bigger month than most other people that do this full time. So anyway, I digress. That's another option. And then we have a lot of this sort of like, even within sales, we have this automation stuff. So AI isn't going to replace salespeople yet, but it could do like DM setting. You could do DMs. You could optimize a person's mini chat. Then let's do marketing. So this is just like high level here. Let's get into the marketing things that we can fix. So within marketing, we have, especially for info, we have assets. Now, these are things like VSLs, landing pages, emails, YouTube, and then we have like overall just copywriting. Okay, so all of these things are crucial to a good info product and to these people making real money. The advantage that you guys have, if you're offering this as a service, which I'm gonna get into the third point that we had initially listed out, is the delivery. Now AI can literally do all this. I'm spitting out, you guys will see this by the way, I'm launching a new VSL internally for ourselves. I have written, I think the best VSL I've ever made, and it's taken me like 2% of the time that it used to take me when I would manually write these out. I've probably written 20-ish, like full length, long VSLs myself by brain and Google Doc. Now that I have AI and I have Claude and I understand context profiles, I understand the right instructions, I understand how to really prompt it in the correct way. I'm not just saying write me a VSL. I'm spitting out world-class VSLs in literally like 30 minutes, an hour, rather than weeks. That is the most important part of an info product business on the traffic side, other than the actual traffic itself, is the VSL, is the landing page, the emails, the YouTube, the scripting, right? The strategy of YouTube, and then just overall copywriting. I could go, even myself, guys, like I could go sell these things and make 50 grand a month right now, like immediately, because it's so valuable. And all these like stupid ass info guys have no idea how to do this. Like, do you guys think that these guys know how to write a VSL? Or understand consumer psychology, or understand how to like make an offer or a hook? They have no idea. And this is why I'm really even just explaining this to you, is all of this can be done with AI like that. You don't even have to know how to do it. The AI will do it for you, which is insane to think about. So that's another one. And then finally, we have the automation part, right? Remember I said sales, automation. Then we have this, okay? So there's this software called N8N. By the way, there is I don't know what video channel we're gonna post this on. There's a 4-part course on my AI channel about N8N. You should definitely go watch it. It's 100% free. It's insanely detailed. So N8N is basically Zapier with AI. So what you can do is you can take an LLM and then you can connect it to all these other tools. So let's say, for example, like content, sales, finances, right? Money coming in. You can connect an LLM to all of these automations traditionally that we'd use Zapier for. And now the automation itself has a brain. Like the LLM is the engine there. It has a brain, and you can even add memory to these things. You can basically build software with these N8N automations. And now I'm telling you this and you're like, oh, that sounds cool, but like, what do I do? Well, it depends on the problems, right? It depends on the problem of the business. It depends on like the bottlenecks, what they're dealing with. And this is a big part of the skill of this business is understanding how to look at a business and say like, oh, this needs fixed, this needs fixed. And that comes through experience, guys. There's really, I can't even teach that to you in the sense of like telling you in a YouTube video. You just have to know what you're looking for. So that's one example, this N8N here, amazing tool. And then any workflow that is done manually that could be automated, this directly saves a business time and money, which is a thing that they will pay for. That's the whole point of business as a service is I'm saving you time or I'm making you more money. There's really not much else I'm doing. It's either one or the other as far as like I'm delivering a service to somebody. And so anything within that business that needs fixed, you can then use AI to do. So that's the problem we're solving, okay? Sales, marketing, automation. One of these three, pick something within there and then pick an industry to go do it in. I recommend info, obviously, because it's just where all the money's flowing right now. And it's probably the easiest to like profitably make money from. Next, we have the economics, okay? So economics of making this much money. If we want to do this, we got to do $83,333 a month. If you are treating this business, this is where I'm going to teach you guys. Don't treat this like an old agency model from like 2018. It's not going to work. You're not going to get to $83,000 a month by selling 3K, 5K retainers. It's not going to work. You have too many clients. What we want to optimize for, and this is what I would teach you guys, is you want less clients, more upside. This is called performance, okay? So less clients, I want 1 or 2 or 3 clients max, but I want more upside. So how do I get to $83,000 a month if I'm doing this? Well, this is the deal structure that I have personally sold. In that deal I mentioned to you guys, we ended up making about 300K or 400K from this client in the span of like 4 months. I sold, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I sold a $25,000 setup fee just because. Obviously, we were doing work, so I had to go like get closers, train them. That's a lot of work. I'm not doing that for free. So as a 25K setup fee, this is the model I would teach you guys or recommend you do is setup plus percentage of upside. Now, this is if you're doing CRO, marketing, or sales. Automation-wise, you can charge a retainer to do that, to be honest, or you can just do one flat build-out fee. So like, hey, 10 grand, I'll automate your whole business. 10 grand, I'll build you a VSL. You can do those too. But this is where the real money comes to get this $1 million a year. So you're gonna do a setup fee for the manual stuff you're going to have to do, and you're gonna do a percentage of upside. So what does the math look like on this? Well, if I have a business that does $100,000 a month right now, and I analyze this business and I say, okay, bad VSL, not really good email marketing. The landing pages and the offers and the hook is just not that good. Maybe we need to optimize the offer a little bit, repackage it, reposition it. The sales process isn't great. Like there's a lot of uplift that we could do here, right? So what I would do is I would say, hey, Mr. Prospect, I'm gonna charge you $5 grand setup fee to build all this out. And then I want 20% of everything we make over 100 grand because you're already doing 100 grand. I'm not gonna take your money you've already earned, but I want 20% of everything additional that I make you. Deal. A lot of people will take this deal. I literally have taught this. I think AI Insiders is now at 50 members over the last year. I've taught this to 50 people. Everybody in that group has not only ROI'd on a expensive investment to get in, but we have several guys doing $100,000 a month plus from this model. So I know it works. This isn't like theory of me telling you this. So if I fix these things, and this is where we can get super nerdy. Let's say their overall CVR right now is like, I don't know, 2%. Now, what is this conversion rate based off of? Is it traffic? Is it leads? Again, this is a hypothetical, but I'm just trying to give you a real example here. Let's say their overall is basically, let's say story views, okay? Because story views is not your total audience, it's people that are actually engaged with you or in email lists or something like that. So let's say that this person gets 10,000, just so we have a quantifiable number, they get 10,000 story views or 10,000 active, engaged people in their audience. They're only converting 2% of them a month. So what is this math? Is it 50? I have no idea. 500? I'm fucking terrible at math. Okay, I'm literally getting a calculator right now. This is embarrassing. $10,000 times 0.02. Oh, it's 200. Right now, they're basically converting 200 buyers a month. Again, hypothetical. This is not necessarily how I look at a business. I just want to give you guys a tangible example. 2%. What can we do to raise this? Well, like I said, let's say they have a bad VSL, which is super important. They don't have pre-call, post-call booking stuff, so their show-up rate is low. And so these are real metrics that I analyze in a business. So show rate, close rate. Let's say VSL, lead to booking. We'll just use that. So let's say the show rate is 30%. pretty bad. Let's say their close rate is like 20%, pretty bad. And then their VSL lead to booking. So like I opt into the VSL. If there's an opt-in on the page, it doesn't have to be, but let's say I opt in and then to my booked call, let's say they're only doing like 3%, 3%. If I come into a business like this and I tangibly, like with AI, I do a better VSL, I write a better offer, I position things a little bit better. We do pre-call and post-call stuff. We do notifications for the sales reps when they get a booking. All these sorts of little things, right? This conversion stuff. Let's say that this goes to realistic numbers. Let's say close rate goes to 40%. Let's say show rate goes to 50%. So they're standard. And then their VSL lead to booking, instead of 3, we go to 5. Now, obviously, we would have to know what the numbers are here. But these lifts are basically, I don't know, like 40% improvement. This is doubling. This is almost doubling. Conservatively, just for the example here, we can take this 2% and now turn this into 5%. Now, watch what happens to the business. Again, let's say they're doing a, we have to have a price here of the offer. Let's just say it's $2,000 for easy numbers. So 2,000 times 200. So again, like I really want to stress this because I hate when people just make shit up. This is the example you need to see. The CVR is just to give you math on like upside of things. So if they're doing a $2,000 offer and they are converting 200 people from their active audience every month, that would be $400K a month, which is good. That's pretty like, you're in like the top 10% of info, I think at that point, but still people do way more than that. If we were to take this from 2 to 5%, this 10,000 active people per month, now it goes to 500, okay? We now have 500 people that are converting a month. And now let's say not everyone's gonna buy like the high ticket. There's gonna be downsells, there's gonna be churn, there's gonna be no-shows, right? There's a lot of like variables that go into this. But what we're essentially doing is we're more than doubling this business by fixing these things. Now, these are not hard to fix if you know what you're doing. The problem is most of these people just don't know what they're doing. And then traditionally, like a year ago, we taught people to do this manually. Now I teach them to fix all this with AI. So like you don't even have to really be good. The AI does everything, which is bananas to think about. But watch what happens to this. Again, hypothetical example, but if we basically more than double this, we're going from $400,000 on 2 to this would be $1 million. 400K to $1 million bucks. How? We fix show rate, we fix close rate, we fix the VSL lead to booking. No new traffic. We're not running ads. We're not running lead gen. You can run ads, but like, this is a real example. There's probably thousands of people out there, coaches, consultants, info people that have situations like this and they need somebody to come in here and fix this because they just don't know how to do it or they don't have time. And the beautiful part is now you can do this with AI. So remember back to the economics, if we were doing 20% of upside over, we'll use this $400,000 basically. So we have $600,000 of spread. 400K is what they were already doing based off of this. We got them to $1 million a month. So with this spread times 20%, we're making, what is that, 120 grand? Now, if this sounds like crazy to you, I literally know off the top of my head, several guys that are the operators for like info businesses behind the scenes, they're making this. This is like a real actual example. So you'd make $120,000 a month. There's your $1 million. One client. Now, obviously a 400K business is a whale. Like that's a big one for you to land. So let's like take this down a notch. Let's say this was a $100,000 business. So this was what, like a 2.3x or whatever. Even at $100,000, you close them, they're doing 100K right now. You take them to, what would this be like? Let's just say 250. If you take them to there's 150,000 of spread, okay? Because we're taking a percentage of upside, not what they were already doing. And so at that point, we're at 150,000 times 0.20 equals, this is almost 30K, $24,000 a month. There's like a bazillion of these kids, okay? Like every kid ever that launches an info product and buys a C8 is doing 100K a month. And they all have no idea what they're doing, by the way. That's just how easy info is. There's $24,000 a month. You need 3 clients to do $83,000 a month with this model. And all you're doing is adding some emails and some organization funnel stuff, writing a new VSL with AI, writing better emails with AI, landing page with AI, finding closers, that has to be done manual. That's kind of hard or just tedious. Better VSL, lead to booking, 3 to 5%, done with AI. And now look at what we've done. We're now generating $24,000 a month for ourselves. This is the AI service business model that you should be running. You should not be doing AI automation. You should not be doing AI receptionists and AI assistants and all this nonsense. You should be using AI to do the same stuff that every business needs help with. This is the exact stuff that I was really good at in my own info product in Closer Cartel. I wrote our VSLs. I wrote our webinars. I wrote our funnels. I wrote like half the emails. I did all this for myself. Like that was my job in the info and to film content. And I had a sales manager. He did a lot of the sales reps management stuff for me. But like we did almost $10 million in a couple years with this. And I had never run a business before. And so like I wasn't good then. I'm good now. But like to put it in context for you guys, I had no idea what I was doing and I still made millions of dollars. So like, do you not think that you watching this video with AI to do all the work? By the way, I never had AI back then. I sound like an old man, but do you not think you could do this? You send a couple DMs, you get a client doing 100K a month, you fix their shit, you make 24K profit a month recurring. And they can't fire you because if they fire you, their business crumbles. It's the best business model in the world right now to make your first $1 million. I 100% believe that. Now, again, like I said, I'm doing the same thing with Kendo, except for our economics are just a little bit different. But it's still the same thing. Like we're solving an issue, and the issue we solve, they're happy to pay X amount of dollars every month for, and then we obviously make that. Kendo right now is worth probably $1 to $2 million. It's very early, but based on ARR at a normal SaaS evaluation, $1 to $2 million. Same thing, same business model, same exact structure. So if I were you, and I was a young person watching this video, or even if I was like 35 years old and I was like, I want to leave my corporate job. Really, it doesn't matter who you are. If you have an IQ of at least 100, 110, you want to work, you want to actually build a business, you want to run your own thing, you don't want to be a sales rep for somebody, you don't want to work for someone, you want to like actually have your own business and learn really awesome skills. And this is the coolest part. If you do all this, you're going to literally be on the cutting edge of using AI. Like this is the best pathway into building software, is to do this and then do, like, look what I'm doing, guys. I went from agency, sales rep, info, teaching how to be a sales rep, managing sales teams, at the same time making some money that way, found a problem, build a software to fix that problem, used AI to do it all. I'm doing the same thing as you and what I'm recommending you guys do. So I hope that helps. Hope it's a valuable video. Guys, if you want to learn this stuff from me, like at a much, much higher level, we do have a program called AI Insiders. It is expensive. It is not for everybody. It is a very small niche group of guys. There's people in there right now doing $30,000 to $300,000 a month. So link in the description if you'd like to check it out and book a call. But nonetheless, I hope this helps. Hope this makes some sense for you guys, and I'll see you on the next video.